Good evening and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mayer. Here we are on day 138, and I'm going to tell you the story of a farmer who had a lot of problems. Now it was the time that the Buddha Gautama, was alive, and people went to him all the time in hopes that he could solve their problems. Now, this farmer, he had a lot of problems, and he went to the Buddha one day, prostrating himself in front of the Buddha. The Buddha had him rise up and asked him how he could help. Well, the farmer, he started off and talking about his crops and how, sometimes there wouldn't be enough rain and things would be very dry and nothing would grow, and it would be very difficult for his family to have enough to eat and for him to make any kind of money at all for any of the other things that they needed. And at other times, it would rain too much. The fields would get flooded, the plants would mold and wither and die from too much water. And on those years, too, it was very, very difficult. And he had a wonderful wife, but sometimes he just found her very, very annoying. And they had children, and they were wonderful children, very helpful most of the time, but they all had certain things that were really difficult for him to deal with, and he was always trying to figure out how to inspire them to learn and be better at everything. And that was hard too. Always trying to be inspiring and, dealing with not only his problems, you had to deal with their problems too. And then, the in-laws, they would come and they would stay for just too long. It was okay for maybe a day, but they'd stay for 2 or 3 nights, and then he'd have to feed them and try to entertain them and keep everybody happy. All he wanted to do was get back out in the fields and work, but they wouldn't come and help if he did. And so there he was, caught, making pancakes and trying to make everybody happy. Well, the Buddha listened to all these problems and finally responded to the farmer and said, "I'm sorry, but I can't help you with these problems." The farmer was like, "What? You're the Buddha. You're supposed to help people with their problems. I mean, if you can't help with people's problems, then what are all your teachings good for?" Well, said the Buddha, everyone has 83 problems. And as soon as they solve one, there's another one to come and fill its place. There's one problem after another. And I can't help you with your 83 problems, but I can help you with your 84th problem. The farmer got angry by this. My 84th problem? If you can't help me with my 83 problems, how can you possibly help me with my 84th problem? In fact, what even is my 84th problem? Well, the Buddha said, your 84th problem is that you have a problem with having problems. With that, the farmer couldn't respond and sat for the longest time in the Buddha's presence in utter silence. And that's the story of the farmer that had a lot of problems. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that one. Thanks for joining.